All right, guys. S. Gibbs was in the lab this weekend, went on about a 30-game win streak. This is the scheme he was using. We're going to give you the running plays from it. For guys in the Brain Trust below who are subscribed, we're going to add a passing video later in the week to kind of complete this whole thing. So no matter what, you should feel confident after watching this that you have a scheme you can at least destroy the computer with pretty consistently and beat. Most players have a very good run game. It's kind of going to change how you're going to play. So, Gibbs, what playbook are we in first?
Tampa Bay Bucs, but you're going to be able to find this formation in a lot of playbooks. It's in Steelers, it's Arizona. I mean, it's all across the board. So keep that in mind. So the formation is gun wide trips halfback weak. And the very first thing that I do to this formation is I sub all my big boys, my big tight ends on the right side.
Yes.
So in Mutt, currently what I have is Gronkowski, Witten, and Jimmy Graham on the right side, and then I go to my fastest, like my deep threat guy. So in this case, I'll go with Kendall Wright, and I sub him on the far left. So that's the adjustment in like the personnel that I'm using.
So a little housekeeping notes to make this formation even more effective. Two guys I like are Stevens, the
Craig.
tight end / fullback,
Cat Stevens,
and Hartsock. They're two guys that have been blocking for me really well. I like to put King Dunlap in the game at tight end. He's a right tackle or a left tackle, but he can be subbed in there. And then you got three great blockers.
Studs. Now, halfback, probably the most important part of this whole thing. This really needs to be a halfback that has some wiggle, right? So a guy with some good speed, some acceleration, agility, can get out wide and become wreak havoc on the outside. This is not a bell cow halfback where they run in between the tackles. This isn't a Le'Veon Bell, right? This is a speed style halfback. Very important. Next thing we do, we come out in the play, shovel option.
Shovel option
New play this year. So this is why I use the Bucs. You're going to be able to use the Steelers and have the inside zone, which we'll go over later. But the first thing I use here is a shovel option. And the read that we have with the shovel option is what Farles is making an adjustment here.
Yes.
Is if anytime you see the pitch symbols here, when the pitch is on the safety, that is your signal say, okay,
this guy right here.
I'm going to run the shovel option.
Guys, it could not be simpler. You hold down the right trigger and the right stick up, and if the second P, there's always going to be one P like here, here, or here.
Somewhere, yeah.
But you do not want to run it.
Do not want to run it.
But if the P is on the safety, then you do want to run the shovel option.
If the P's on the safety, run the shovel option.
You always come out in shovel option
always.
Because the run down, which is X.
Inside zone.
Which is X. You press X.
Yeah.
And then you go down to inside zone, or you flick down on the right stick for new players, is the inside zone. So you never call inside zone, because then when you're in inside zone, you can't call shovel option. But if you call shovel option, you can always call inside zone.
Correct.
There we go.
Boom. All right, so the reason you do this is because it takes very long for that safety to get up in the box and to play contain, which is his role right now, as he's supposed to be a contain player on the halfback, quarterback, or the secondary pitch man, which is the tight end. So because it takes him so long to get down, that's why we run it against this front. Now, if you had the double P on the edge here, then you wouldn't run it because now you have two defenders already in position to contain and shut the run down.
Correct.
So in this case, I see the safety's back. I see the P's on the safety. I'm going to run it. I have to read that defender. He doesn't give it to me, and then I cut inside, and then I pitch. Correct. I cut inside, then I pitch. Very important right there. So the read that you have on this is the following. I see that the first P defender, the pitch defender, he doesn't break down at me at the quarterback because he's the guy that's coming at me. He breaks over to the halfback. So right there, I have to recognize that, and I have to cut this inside. I cut this inside. Now, the second option I could do here is I could pitch this RB to the tight end, which is 82 right there. But things could get muddy, and it could get awkward, and you could fumble. Bad things can happen.
Well, the good news is that it is a pass, so it is an incomplete pass, which helps.
It's correct. So you can give that ball inside pitch right there, but I like to keep it the quarterback. And then once I kind of get in the middle of the field here, I look to see, do I have an option to pitch, or I can just keep it with the quarterback for a couple of yards. Here, right before I get tackled, I pitch it to the halfback, and then I get out wide, take that speed. I'm able to get to the corner and get about 10 yards. A little more, actually. I was able to get 15.
It's nice. If you time the pitch correctly, there's the P at the safety.
We're just running them out of the way just to show you.
Fantastic.
And then we'll show you afterwards.
Yeah.
So the second pitch defender, just Every play is different. So this defender in this situation is a deep safety. So here, read. He came after me that time, or he went after the pitch man. He went after the tight end pitch man.
Yes.
And now I'm able to get out wide and then pitch again.
So that right there is the most consistent thing I've been seeing. I'd probably say 8 out of 10 that exact. The second thing happens more so than the first. And then you get a little pitch and you can break it. So that is what I see.
Right.
Now, if there's two P's next to each other and the P, once again, is not on the safety, now you want to change the call to the inside zone.
Right, because if we run it here, like,
That.
it's tough. It's really tough because I should have kept that with the quarterback, but we'll go again, right? So here, like I can keep it with the quarterback and still win.
Right,
but
it's not going to gain. The quarterback's not going to be your best.
Not your best option.
Best way to rack up yards. The best way to rack up yards is going to be to get the quarterback here and then pitch it about. That's pretty nice.
That was pretty dope.
Nice.
That was pretty.
But overall, the quarterback, you're just using him as a vessel.
A vessel
to pitch to.
He's a vessel.
He's a
I
vessel
love it.
To pitch to the halfback when you get to the edge, and
right.
You'll learn how to pitch where. When the halfback catches it, he kind of gets a little extra, which is pretty nice.
Right.
So that is why you don't want to run the pitch, the shovel option when you have two P's on the outside.
Right. So now what I then do is I check down to the inside zone because I see double P.
Correct.
Then from here, I want to try and get this run off the edge. That's my first thought. I don't want to, as we talked earlier, I don't want to run this through the A gap because I think I can have more success off the outside as long as I have the correct alignment. Like if all your defenders were over to the right, like if your linebackers were to the right, I would run up the middle. But in this case, there's more defenders in the middle, so I want to try and funnel the run out wide. So here it is. I get to the next layer and I get out wide. And look at my tight ends blocking for me. Look at my tight ends doing the dirty work for me. So if you go back instant replay, you're going to see what's so effective about this. The tight end is able to seal down the outside defensive player. Most instances, if there's no tight end there, that defender would be free. So if I were to try to break out this run out the edge, that defender would get me. So what happens is you get to the edge here, and look at now the linebacker 52, he's having a tough time to shoot the gap. I have my tight ends out wide that are blocking for me. He comes off the block 25, but he's too late. He's too slow. I've already got the edge. Look at 85. That Chase Kaufman just doing work on Revis or whoever that is. That's where this can be really difficult to defend. Show you that again. Here's the run. Hold the edge, Delaney Walker, cut that run back inside for 5 yards. Right, that's where the tight ends are super helpful, is because they help run blocking on the edge. Here it is again.
Look at that push.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one, boys. Sometimes you can call your shot, like you'll see it and be like, "This is gonna be a touchdown."
Right before the snap.
It'll be a touchdown.
So that's kind of the two-headed rushing monster. I would say that there's a third-headed rushing monster. Because what you're gonna see people do is this, guys. People are gonna try and slow you down by rocking. They're going to make sure that they have two P's off the edge, and then they'll maybe bring this guy down over here. But on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, right up the middle.
3rd and 2, yeah. Oh, you can still bang this
watch
inside.
How quick you can do it, though. Yeah,
like you can still bang this inside.
Give me one more up the middle. You did a good job right there, but watch the cut up the middle by Sankey right here on like 3rd and 2. That is like
it's so difficult.
That is that thing that you need to have in your arsenal. Because if you're going to run the ball a lot, you're going to get into situations where it's 3rd and 4 and you still have to run. And you've got to be consistent with it.
Right.
So, once again, always come out in the shovel option. Then you're going to the inside zone if you see the two P's, depending on the two P's in a pod. Tampa Bay Bucs Playbook is the one we like it from.
Because it has the shovel option.
Because it has the shovel option. For the Brain Trust guys, you're going to get a passing set to kind of complement this. In your inbox this week, so make sure for subscribers to keep focused on their
Can we talk a little bit about how I just juked this guy out of his shoes? Like I knew that if I kept that going up the middle, I'm in trouble. Watch little B button action, juked you out your shoes.
Pretty nice right there.
There are some passing options out of this. You obviously have 4 verticals. Don't forget about that. It's a very good play. My favorite play out of this is probably Stick.
Stick is fantastic.
The main reason for it is because
here's why.
They usually will end up starting to try and blitz from zone.
Right.
And then when people blitz from zone, they only have hooks underneath, right? The second they have hooks underneath, good luck, bro. Like, good luck. You're going to give me 5 yards of pop every time.
Right.
Like, every time. Then they're going to go to man. They're going to try and run man. That's fine. Run man. That's totally cool with me because they're going to be using on a safety, and then they have to worry about something like Kendall Wright winning on the inside right there. Bang. Like,
once again, your fastest receiver on that left edge. So if it's zone and they bring the guy up, run past him. If it's man, run a slant. Right. If they start, because you're running the shovel option, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to take this guy and try and blitz him off the edge. Like 100% of the time.
Yes.
You've got a free pass to Sankey. That first 3rd and 2.
So free.
That first 3rd and 2 is free. Free first down.
Right.
Then they're going to maybe take this guy here. And so now you're going against this. And this is where you either bust one up the middle or you hit the pass to the flat. Like, I've broken touchdowns on inside zone to the outside right, to shovel option left, and I've broken touchdowns with Sankey on a pass to the flat. So there's 3 different. I mean, there's a lot of ways to break big plays from this. So it's really good.
And the other thing that you're going to start seeing happen is definitely the following: go to 2-man. Like, I can't tell you how many touchdowns I've had. Go to 2-man under. I can't tell you how many touchdowns I've had with Bishop or with Brandon Cooks off the edge. Like, because they take the safety and they know they're going to be the double P on that edge. But so they go in the middle of the field because they have to worry about the edge so much.
Right.
So they're like, okay, I'm going to work. I have to make sure Sankey's covered. He's covered by a linebacker. Good. I have to make sure now I'm the double P. I have to make sure I can get wide with my defender on stop the run. But what's the last thing they can't do if they're doing all those things?
They can't
play deep against Bishop Sankey, right? So then I just chuck it deep, baby, and that's where the speed takes advantage of that coverage.
Yeah, you definitely want to, you want a faster guy there. So it makes it really difficult, guys. I think it's an excellent scheme. Once again, keep an eye out for your passing plays, but I think you'll really enjoy this. Now, we'll go through the formation one more time. There's a couple other runs in there. Don't call them. Don't call them.
Yeah, don't call them yet. We're not at that point yet.
Don't call them yet.
We're not at that point yet.
Don't call them yet.
We're not at that point yet.
But
maybe.
Like halfback counter, just run the shovel option.
Oh, just run the shovel option.
Correct. The 5-6 trap, just run the inside zone and cut it wide.
Right.
The read option,
I thought about
there's a
subbing in the read option instead of the shovel option. Real talk.
There's
I
a
thought
ton of
about
place
it.
for it.
What has happened to me is I am too late with the read. It like develops too quick. I can't do. I don't know. It's just not for me right now. So
there's a time and a place for the read option. I like it in the red zone. I sub in a slower quarterback and then I run the read option. You basically get one free first down with the read option every game. Use it to your advantage.
You get one free.
Guys for this scheme are Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota. They're going to really help bring some speed to the shovel option. You don't need to pass a lot, so don't really worry. You do need a little bit of deep accuracy, so that can hurt you a little bit.
Real quick, one of the probably one of the most important passing plays from the set is corner strike. Just go into passing, guys. Those in the brain trust are going to have an actual separate formation that's going to make you actually be able to use this as a scheme all for an entire game. This set, though, what's good about this corner strike is when you streak super nah in the slot, you now have a way to attack zone, and you also have a way to attack man. And then I love that Sankey's on that same flat route, right? So that flat route's super key. If they are blitzing, I can hit him quick, hit Walker quick. If they're in man, Wright's going to win. Coffin's going to win, but if they're in zone, this is a great way for me to beat zone coverage and the corner route right there. Like, so that's why this is the most important passing play, because everyone and their mother, like probably even grandmothers at this point, can like expect the
A route across the middle.
A route across the middle.
Yeah.
So this route right here, it takes very long to develop. I understand that, but you need a big play. Like, they're probably not going to be fully anticipating that.
3rd and 12. And you can't run it, and you're like, oh man, I have to pass.
Man to man, 2-man under. This is another way to beat 2-man under, right? So 2-man under, you go to this route. It takes a long time to develop. You need time in the pocket, but when he breaks, and he's going to win.
Right.
So
that's kind of the pass I would use. You can always slant guys across the middle, 4 verticals. There's a lot there, guys. There's a lot with this formation.
You're going to see me run it tonight in the game of the week.
But run the ball. Run the ball.
Run the ball.
Run the ball. Run the ball. Win games this year. All right. So that was the free scheme. Once again, I'll put the free scheme up against the paid stuff out there. Fantastic offensive scheme right here. I won a lot of games with this weekend, and S. Gibbs did as well. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure to follow the channel. Appreciate it.
If we don't get to follow the channel just for giving that out for free, guys, I don't know what I don't.